Welcome to a first-person journey. My name is G. I must say that I have been putting this episode off for quite some time. Not because I do not know what happened. I know exactly what happened. I have been putting it off because saying it out loud, without dressing it up, means going back to one of the hardest days of my life. A day that was loud. A day that was full of pain I had caused. A day when the woman I married looked at me and asked for a divorce. Every episode on this channel before this one was about how I got here, the home I grew up in, the feelings I buried, the faces I wore depending on who was watching, the constant drive to prove my worth. All of that was true. All of it was real. But all of it was also leading to this day, the day the hiding ended. Not because I chose to stop hiding, because I got caught again. And the person who caught me had every right in the world to be as angry as she was. This is that day. For a long time, I had been living two separate lives, one that my wife could see, one that she could not. The life she could see was the one I worked hard to maintain, the provider, the man who showed up, the person who handled things. On the outside, things looked like they were holding together. The life she could not see was the one I kept hidden, and I had gotten very good at keeping it hidden. I had rehearsed my reasons for my choices so many times that they came out smooth and easy. I told myself stories about why I was doing what I was doing, stories about being unhappy, about not feeling understood, about deserving something I was not getting at home. Yet, every one of those stories was a lie. The truth was simpler and much harder to say. I was making selfish choices over and over again, while my wife was at home holding our life together, carrying things I should have been carrying, giving everything she had to our family while I was somewhere else entirely. I knew that. Somewhere inside me, I had always known that. I just kept finding ways to look past it, until the day I could not look past it anymore. The moment was not quiet. I want to be clear about that because I think it is important to tell the truth about what this kind of reckoning actually looks like. It was not a calm conversation. It was not two people sitting down and talking through things in a measured way. It was years of pain arriving all at once. It was my wife's voice, full of an anger she had every right to feel. An anger that had been building for a long time under the surface of a marriage that was asking more of her than it was giving back. She had known something was wrong. She had always known. Her instincts had been telling her the truth long before she had the evidence to confirm it. And when the confirmation finally arrived, everything that had been held in check came out. The anger was real. The hurt was real. The sense of betrayal that filled that room was real. And for the first time in a very long time, I had nowhere to go. No angle to redirect from. No version of events I could offer that would soften what she was seeing clearly for the first time. She told me exactly what she thought, about what I had done, about the years of it, about how long she had been carrying things that were never hers to carry, about what it had cost her to stay faithful to a marriage that was not being honored on the other side. I stood there and I listened, and I did not argue, because everything she said was true. Then she said the words I had never expected to hear from her. She asked for a divorce, and the weight of that stopped me in a way nothing else had, because I had thrown those same words at her, more than once. Every time I was caught, every time the truth got too close, I needed something to push her back with. I used those words like a weapon, like a door I could threaten to walk through so that she would stop pressing on the places I did not want pressed. And every single time she refused to catch what I was throwing. Her response was always the same, steady, unshakable. She would look at me and say, "My real husband would never do or speak to me like this. I do not know who you are, but my husband is in there somewhere. I am not going anywhere." Every time, without fail. So, to hear those words coming from her direction now, to hear the divorce request in her voice instead of mine, was one of the most disorienting moments of my life. It did not feel like justice. It did not feel like karma catching up to me. It felt eerie, like the ground had shifted underneath everything I thought I understood about who we were to each other. She had absorbed those words from me for years and returned them with faith every single time. And now, the faith was gone, and the words had found their way home. I had no one to blame for that but myself. It is not just fear. It is not just guilt. It is the sudden and complete understanding of what you have actually been risking. Not in the abstract, right in front of you, in the face of a woman who is done, who has reached the end of what she is willing to absorb, who has been pushed to the place where the only way she can protect herself is to ask for a way out. I had done that to her. I had taken someone who loved me with everything she had, and I had worn her down to this moment. And standing in it, I could not construct a single story to make it better. There was no reframe. There was no version of events that changed what was true. There was only the full, undeniable weight of what I had been doing for years and what it had finally produced. That weight landed on me in a way nothing had ever landed before. Not because I was afraid of losing her, although I was, but because for the first time, I actually saw her. Not as the backdrop of my life, not as the person holding things together while I did what I wanted, as a human being who had given me everything and received far less than she deserved in return. And I was ashamed. Deeply, genuinely ashamed. Not of being caught, of what I had done. People sometimes ask what real shame feels like. Not embarrassment, not the discomfort of being caught doing something wrong. Real shame. It feels like this. It is quiet in a way that is louder than any noise in the room. It sits in the middle of your chest, and it does not move. It does not need an audience because it is not about how things look. It is about what you know, what you now cannot unknow about yourself. I had been telling myself for years that I was a good man going through a hard time, that my choices were complicated, that the people who loved me did not fully understand what I was carrying. Standing in that room, listening to my wife, none of that held. I was not a good man going through a hard time. I was a man who had made a series of deliberate choices that hurt the people closest to him, over and over again, while telling myself it was not that serious, while constructing reasons that let me off the hook. Seeing that clearly, all at once, with no way to look away, was one of the most painful experiences of my life, and it was also, underneath all the pain, the first honest moment I had experienced in a very long time. There was something else I felt in that moment, something I did not expect. Relief. Not the kind of relief that comes from a problem being solved. Nothing was solved that day. Everything was broken open. But there was a specific kind of relief that comes when you have been hiding something for a very long time and it finally comes out. The hiding was over. I had not realized how much energy it had been taking, how much of every single day had been spent managing what was known and what was not, tracking the story, keeping the versions straight, maintaining the gap between what was real and what I was presenting. All of that dropped in one moment. And even in the middle of the worst day I had experienced in years, there was something underneath the devastation that felt like putting down a weight I had been carrying so long I had forgotten what it felt like to be without it. I had been found out. And as terrible as it was, I was no longer hiding. That was the beginning of the only honest ground I had stood on in a very long time. I want to be straight with you about what happened after that day, because I think the truth of it is more useful than a clean story would be. My wife and I are still together. We are trying to work things out. But trying to work things out after this kind of damage is not the same as being okay. It is not a happy ending wrapped up in forgiveness and a fresh start. It is daily. It is hard. It is two people choosing over and over again to stay in a process that asks a great deal from both of them. She is still dealing with what I put her through, not just from that day, from the years before it, the years of deception, The years of her instincts being right while I worked hard to convince her they were wrong. The years of her giving everything to a marriage that was not being honored the way she deserved. That does not heal quickly. It does not heal because I am now doing better. Her healing has its own pace and its own timeline, and it belongs to her. My job is not to rush it or to make it about my own need to feel forgiven. My job is to be consistent, to be honest, to show up differently than I showed up before, every day, without expecting that consistency to immediately repair what years of inconsistency broke. I am learning what that actually looks like in practice. Some days I do it well. Some days the old habits pull at me, and I have to make a deliberate choice to do something different. It is not automatic yet. I do not know when it will be. What I know is that I am not going back. Not to the hiding, not to the divided life, not to the stories I told myself to make selfish choices feel reasonable. That chapter is closed. What comes next is being written one honest day at a time. I want to speak directly to you now. If you are living a double life right now, if there is a gap between who your partner thinks you are and who you actually are, if you have been telling yourself stories about your choices that make them sound more reasonable than they are, I am not going to tell you that your moment is coming. I do not know your situation. What I will tell you is this. The moment your wife or your partner finds out, and they will find out because they always already know something is wrong even when they do not have the evidence yet, it will not be quiet. It will not be a calm conversation where you get to manage how things come out. It will be the full weight of everything they have been carrying landing in the room all at once. And you will stand in that room with nowhere to go, no story that holds, no angle that helps, just the truth of what you have been doing and what it has cost the person who trusted you most. Do not wait for that moment. Do not make her carry this until she breaks under the weight of it. Go get help, right now, not tomorrow, not when things feel more stable. Now. A therapist, an honest conversation with someone you trust. One real step toward the truth rather than one more day of the hiding. The hiding is costing you more than you know, and it is costing her even more than that. She deserves better. And somewhere underneath all the running, so do you. That day ended the hiding. And the ending of the hiding was the first real thing that had happened in our marriage in a very long time. I caused serious harm to the person I promised to love and protect. I have said that before on this channel, and I will keep saying it because I think the saying of it matters. Not as a punishment, as an accounting, as the honest record of a man who is trying to understand what he did and why, and what he is going to do differently. My wife asked for a divorce that day. She did not get one. Not because I talked her out of it, but because she made her own choice. A hard one, a daily one. A choice I do not take for granted for a single moment. We are in it together now, imperfectly, painfully, but honestly in a way we have never been before. And honest, however hard, is always better than hidden. Always.